What's up, everybody, and welcome back to my horror corner. I'm Drop Dead Fred. Hope you're all having a great day and great week, and I hope you got your balls on because we're going to Willy's. So I remember hearing about this movie recently from a coworker, and I wasn't sure when it was coming out. I didn't look up too much information. He just kind of told me the concept, and I was like, whoa, that sounds fucking awesome. And then recently on Twitter, somebody I follow had made a letterbox tweet about it. And I had no idea it had just released. So I was like, okay, I'm not even going to read that. I'm not going to read anything up on it. I just want to go in as blind as possible. All I knew was what my coworker told me. And he kind of explained it as a Five Nights at Freddy's, which is a video game that came out a few years back. And I believe a good friend of mine, Wicca, told me that even though it seems like it, the director has said that he was not inspired by that game. But it totally gave off that vibe. So there's quite a few people in this movie, but I'm going to stick to maybe like only three. We have the main guy, of course, Nicolas Cage, who is just titled under the janitor. We have the main actress in the movie, who is Emily Tosta, who plays Liv. We also have, who I remember this actress from Donnie Darko, Beth Grant. She is the sheriff in the movie and probably one of the other more favorite parts of my movie, as well as a bunch of other like young adult people. I'm just not going to go into it. This is going to be a quick fire recommendation on my quick thoughts about this movie. I literally just watched it, set up my equipment, and started recording. This was a fucking awesome movie. Oh my god, based off what I was told it was about, I kind of had an idea of going into it, but it was just overall absolutely fun. Is this one of the best Nicolas Cage movies ever? No, of course not. Does this have over-the-top Nicolas Cage freakouts? No, not really. To see Nick Cage play this type of character, it was this is not necessarily a spoiler, but this fucker does not talk throughout the entire movie. I don't know if that was budgetary, because it's a pretty low-budget movie, and they're like, maybe we can save some money if we just don't offer you any lines. And that's kind of part of my dislike. I love and hate that part of the movie, because I would have enjoyed, at least hearing some crazy Nick dialogue, something just him rambling on about how he feels about this fucking. Okay, well let's just get into it. Basically, he has to clean this entire place called Willy's Wonderland. It's like a Chuck E. Cheese with all these animatronics that apparently come to life, have been terrorizing fucking all the kids, eating them, devouring their souls. And even though it's a simple concept, I love that there's a little backstory to the animatronics. It's not just like, okay, these fucking things just malfunctioned and now they're terrorizing kids. There is a little exposition dump or two exposition dumps in there kind of explaining what's really going on. But man, it was so cool to see just Nicolas Cage beat on these fucking animatronics. He's using anything he can around him. He uses broomsticks, using his fucking hands, just beating on these fucking puppets. All this black liquid blood is coming out. Oh, it was absolutely awesome. And one cool thing is when he's it happens I think a few times after he kills one of these freaking animatronics, he pulls out their fucking pulling out their fucking spines, their mechanical spines and shit. It was so cool to see him. Very creative, I thought. Kind of reminded me of a fatality almost from fucking Mortal Kombat. And I was paying attention. Okay, he doesn't talk, but he does make two or three sounds where he's kind of just grunting and when he's yelling and beating on one of these things. And that's when I was just hoping to hear some fucking Nick Cage just cursing at these damn robots, these animatronics, but we don't get that. Oh, but we do get to see him curb stomp a gorilla in a urinal, so that's all I'm going to say to that. Also, there's a lot of long shots where it's just him staring, looking bad fucking ass, and I'm not mad. I'm not mad. And one other thing, there's a thing with this soda where he keeps drinking this weird soda throughout the movie. It's not fucking explained. You'll see what I'm talking about, and it almost reminds me of a video game every time he drinks this soda, but even though it's not based off that, it just, I don't know, that's the vibe I was getting. It was so cool and little clever. But there are a couple things I didn't really like too much about it. There's essentially two stories going on. We have the Nick Cage story. Then we also have this group of young adults basically trying to have their own little storyline in it. And it works out fine for the most part. There's a few of them I just felt they were completely pointless to the plot of the movie. We just needed extra people in there to die, which is completely fine. But I don't know. I could have done with a little bit out that. There were times during the second act where I felt like it was losing momentum. It was starting to slow down just a tad bit, but then it would kind of be like a roller coaster. It would pick up a little bit and then slowly. It's just like during like the second act. The third act works out fine. I like how it ended. It ended very corny. I couldn't have had more of a better experience than I did watching this, but those are just like my two little nitpicking things right there. Like I said earlier about the Nick Cage not talking, like I like and don't like that at the same time. The practical effects, like the animatronics, were fucking top notch. There were genuine times where I was like, oh, that's kind of fucking creepy. Like being stuck in this damn Chuck E. Cheese with these like animatronics just staring at you. The acting wasn't too bad. There were times where some of them, like the young adults, felt a little bland. Besides, even Nick Cage was playing an absolutely silent character. He did a phenomenal job. But besides him, I thought Beth Grant was one of the other better parts, at least the acting parts. I thought she had one of the funniest lines, I thought, were, "Put your balls on, we're going to Willy's." Also, really quick, there is a really cool fucking dance scene with Nick Cage just drinking this soda and playing this pinball machine, and he's just getting down. And that was just one of the fucking probably my favorite part of the entire movie. Besides him, of course, beating on fucking animatronics. Freebird! And another thing that I have to praise about this movie is the soundtrack. Like, I'm legit gonna be bumping the Willy Wonder's theme song all day today, 100%. I believe the artist's name is Emoy. I'm sorry if I'm getting that wrong. But let me know if you've seen this already. It just recently came out, like very recently, within the last few days. But as soon as I saw that it was out, I learned that it was out, I had to fucking watch it. And I was not disappointed. Personally, I was not disappointed. I said this earlier. Is it the best Nicolas Cage movie? No. Was it a fucking badass fun movie? Yeah, for sure. What your thoughts are on this movie, go ahead and follow me at Twitter and Instagram. I'm not too active on Instagram, but definitely follow me on Twitter. Happy Spookies.